All right, there we go. We are officially live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow comic book collectors, depending on when you're watching this, obviously, and what area of the world you are. My name is Chris. This is my channel. We love comics, and as usual, I'm going to show you a deal because I want to motivate people to know that deals are out there for key comics, hot comics, flavor of the month comics, you name it. And I want to try and condition people to realize that I know there are books that you want, but if you are patient and you change your mindset, you will get the things you want and not have to overspend. So I want to say hello to the people that are getting here. I want to give people a couple of seconds. We got Horror Breakdown, we got Matt, we got Timothy, we got Nigel, we got Sean straight from Hawaii. Good morning. The Jester. I also want to remind people I am selling my mystery boxes. If you're interested in those, I'm selling graded comics, ungraded comics. It helps for the purchases of medicines and things for Luna and our continued moving. We're getting closer. We're moving on the 14th of next month, so it's rapidly approaching. Paul says hello. So hi back. Another Paul says hello. Connor, welcome. So I see enough people are here. And if anybody can share the links, even if you're not able to get anything, it definitely helps. And Paul says he's here from the UK. So it's nice to see from the UK on one end, Hawaii on the other end of the world. It shows that there's a lot of people who love comics. So welcome. Slowly Two Kings, welcome. Stephen Jones. Another one from the UK. So a couple of people. So that's awesome. And Daniel just did a super chat. So Daniel, thank you for that. I always want to make sure if somebody's kind enough to do something like this, that I acknowledge him right away. Bob says hello as well. So we have a box here. I want to get people to realize, because like I have always said, you need real eyes to realize that deals are out there. This is a book I've had, now this is like my 4th or 5th copy. I had to sell a couple of them to help with the move, but this is why I always tell people, don't have the mindset of I can't, or I won't, or it's too hard, or it's too difficult, or there's things coming out of, there's always excuses. Well, let me ask you, anybody, and I did it myself at one point, has anybody ever achieved anything they want when they spend their life making excuses? The answer is probably no. So I know it seems simplified when I say things like, if you change your mindset and think more positively and you put the effort it takes, in other words, knowing what you're buying, knowing the prices, knowing what the grades are, you can always find deals. Now this one, and this is nice, and shout out to Lewis. They wrote a little note for me. It says, hi, Chris. Enjoy this great classic. Hope all is well. I asked them to pack it securely. Looks like they did enough to make sure it was safe. They did put it in a box. So always contact your buyers, your sellers, and tell them how you want it to be packaged. Never assume that somebody knows how to package a comic. Just because somebody's selling a comic doesn't mean they may love it like we do. So, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Sometimes they don't listen, but you can't control those people. Now, this is a book I've had several of. This was a 10-day auction. Nobody bid but me. I cannot believe that, but it shows that it's not always a gotta get it right as it's listed, because I checked this. I was the only bidder, and it was a 10-day auction. So when you see it, you'll understand. Now, obviously, it's not obvious, but it's not Amazing Fantasy 15 or anything, but this is a key book, and there will be another movie coming soon in the next couple of years. So how this slipped by everybody, I don't know, but it just shows when you change your mindset and you put in the effort and you don't give up, good things are going to happen. So, of course, I always make sure I mention the price. So, also, don't forget to wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout-out. Steven says he got the Midnight Suns for €14.99. 1 through 6. That's awesome. Hopefully those will pan out. But, I mean, for those prices, how do you go wrong? So, it had a little damage, and I'll show you, but not anything major. But I definitely paid well below what this comic is worth. So here we go. Here is the Silver Age key, where I sold 2 of them. I still have about 2 or 3 more, and now I have 1 more in my collection. And that is Fantastic Four, number 52. which is the first appearance of Black Panther, who is going to be having Black Panther 2 coming out in the next couple of years, and is probably going to be one of the main characters in the upcoming and ongoing Avengers for the years to come. So this character is definitely still majorly desirable, but because of the fact that the movie was a year or two ago, most people have moved on to the flavor of the month, and people like me will buy these things up, because like I said, this was a 10-day auction, and I was the only bidder. Now it might be hard to see, but see that there is a little bit of staining right there, and right over on this side, not major amounts, but it looks like there you go. So you can see there's some color loss there, but it doesn't go all the way through. So, I mean, that will lower the grade, but overall, I mean, the spine, especially on a black cover, there's not a lot all the way up and down the spine. Looks pretty darn good. Now, obviously, I'm going to check the front and the back. There's a tiny little fraction of chipping right at the very edge. But I would say this is probably, and on the top, you can see right there a little bit of chipping. Obviously, I'm going to check the back of the book and everything. But this looks probably about a 3.0. I paid, with shipping and handling for this book, $256.49. So, this is not a $9,000 book or anything, but remember, when Black Panther 2 comes out, let me ask you this. Do you think the value of this book will A, go down, B, stay the same, or 3, rise up in value? So a lot of people tend to buy books as they're at their peak of popularity. Most of the time, it's probably going to start going down, or if anything, stay the same. These books, after a while, because there's so many people buying what I call the flavor of the month, they forget about these books. Nobody bids on them. And then I just sit around and wait a couple of years for the price to go back up, and I'll probably triple my money, because a 3.0 is currently about $350 to $400. So I think of the future and not the present when it comes to investing. Now, obviously, if you're buying these because you want to complete a run or you want it just to read it, then it doesn't really matter. But if you look at my videos, the number one videos that I have on my channel are ones that talk about investments, key issues, what to look for. So most people, whether they want to admit it or not, most people do it for the money. So what I always recommend to people is get multiple copies of books, because if you ever want to do a trade or if you ever have to sell them, I can sell 2 or 3 more of this book and still own it. So if I wanted to combine a couple and get another comic that maybe is out of my price range or something else, you can do it. So, most people, they want to say, oh, it's hogwash, changing your mindset. That's too simple. Well, if that's what you want to believe, you have every right to. If you have been on my channel for long enough, you will know time and time again, I get deals that most people have been searching for years to get, and I find them all the time. So if you want to think that me repeatedly doing that over and over again is just dumb luck or coincidence, well, then if it's dumb luck, why did I get to the point where I could potentially be losing a house and had to come up with about $24,000 within 3 weeks to get a new house out of nowhere after losing all of my jobs? That doesn't sound like good fortune to me. You make your fortune. You got to make things happen. Trust me, if you're hungry, get on your knees and pray for food. Get on your knees and hope for food. And watch you starve to death. You want food? Go and get it. So when it comes to deals, they're always out there. The problem is most people are not patient. They're not willing to wait. And they're not willing to change the mindset, because other people will say, oh, you're going to believe something like that? What are you, stupid? What are you, an idiot? We're going to make fun of you. Well, those people, through their ignorance or naivety, are influencing you. Why let somebody who's not being positive influence you? Because it makes you feel better temporarily that a bunch of strangers pat you on the back and say, thank God you're listening to us? The people who are angry all the time? The people who are jealous all the time? Be a person that knows that they have the power to do everything. or not. And Amazing Murphinator, and it's good to see you, good sir. He says, I bought from Chris too for an extra $4.95. He created an invoice for the price. I told my wife I paid. Awesome packaging too. Thank you. And that's something I have a very good reputation about. There was just one time that I ran out of boxes and stuff and hoped that the package would survive, and it got damaged, but I was right there ready to replace any comics that got damaged. But normally I do a very good job. I do them quickly. And I want to make sure people understand that my love of comics is not just going towards, oh, let me make as much money as I can and I'll just dump something in a manila envelope. My packages, sometimes it takes about 5 minutes to open because, you know, unless they play Frisbee with them, they're coming intact. So let me do the surprise subscriber shout out. So there you go. The key book, which I've shown several different times. I have so many of these. This was a 10-day auction. I was the only bidder. Came out to $256.49. I will check the book to make sure everything else is intact, but the beautiful thing about eBay and PayPal is they got the buyer protection program. I've never been burned by somebody. I've had people try, but because you got to look at your books and you know what to look for, you'll know if somebody's trying to scam you. So far, knock on wood, I've been doing pretty good. I'm going to continue that, and I want to share that with you. So if you want to follow a bunch of people that will laugh at this stuff, that will mock this stuff, that will deny this stuff, or tell you it's absolutely crazy, you have the right to do that. But let me ask you this. Are they helping you? Are they helping you to improve? Are they doing anything to motivate you? Or are they just keeping you on their end because misery loves company? Don't be one of those people, because the wonderful thing about a free world and a free will and a free society is you can go and do whatever you want, including listening and following people that are going to steer you off a cliff. You know, they might be falling too. Why not drag other people with them? Don't be one of those people. So I want to motivate people to think in a different mindset, to think more positively. I mean, if you want to think me getting all these deals is just coincidence, that's fine. I choose to believe that I control my destiny, and you can too. It's all about changing the mindset, and even if it doesn't work, hey, go back to the way you were. What did you have to lose? You're not spending thousands of dollars to change your mindset. You're not having to sell everything you own to change your mindset. You just got to say, you know what? Time to flip the switch in another direction. You can always flip it back. So today's surprise subscriber shout out, we're going to go with Hellbound666. Hopefully he's not hellbound, but I appreciate his comment. But hopefully he's going to subscribe, or she's going to subscribe. I don't want to assume. And if you have already subscribed, that's awesome. Grandmaster says check out his channel. He has some cool tribute videos. So there you go. There's a little shout out to Grandmaster as well. And Daniel says, what are you guys finding the What If 10 for? Well, I bought mine years ago, probably back in 2016. So I spent about $20 to $30 for each one. And they're probably in 7 to 8th grade. As a matter of fact, I have one that should be coming back that I sent to be graded, and it's probably around an 8 or a 9, so we'll find out. But the idea is to buy stuff when nobody wants it. Most people buy stuff when somebody makes an announcement. That's the worst time to be buying something because you're going to overpay. And if you overpay at the exact top, it has only down to go. And if you're not doing the research and you're not studying, whose fault is it if you don't know what you're doing? You know, if you don't know that you'll get a ticket if you go 80 miles an hour, that's not going to help you if you get pulled over. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, you didn't know? Go home. It's all right. Ignorance is no excuse. That should be everything that influences your life. Nothing wrong with listening to people, but listen to people who help you. If you listen to people that get a good laugh at somebody else's expense, or is telling you wrong information that they just regurgitated because they heard somebody else regurgitate it, that's not helping you. So you might be in the cool crowd, but if they're not helping you, how good is that crowd? I would rather be alone and be right than to be in a group of fools who all pat each other on the back because it takes no effort. Again, what you choose to do, it's your life or your funeral. So might as well make it a life. So thank you as always. If you appreciate my advice, if you think it helps, share your stories, number one. If any of my advice has ever helped you in any way, put it in the comments section. If you've ever ordered anything from me, place it in the comments section. Let people know what you truly thought about it, and be honest. And I would love to hear your stories. So tell people about if anything over the years, if any of my advice ever helped you, make it known. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, subscribe to people in the chat. So if any of you, like for example, Amazing Murphinator has a channel, go check out his channel. Because if we help each other and work with each other, doesn't that make a better community? And isn't that what community should be about? I'll leave that up to you. So thank you as always. I posted the link again for my mystery boxes and my comics that I'm still selling. They help towards Luna, and it helps towards our move. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Amazing Murph, anytime. You're definitely a person that I respect and appreciate, and hopefully you'll get a couple subscribers. So if you subscribe to his or anybody's channel, tell them We Love Comics sent you so they know. Thanks a lot, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics. Have a great day, everybody.